Badass business owners, welcome to another episode of the Local Small Business Coach Podcast, where each episode we work on getting you to $100,000 in take-home pay. So if you're all ready to boost your profits, increase your sales, improve your processes, and develop stronger teams so you can stop living job to job, then let's dive in. Hey, badass business owners, welcome back to the show. Today is Thursday. That means we're going to dive into your numbers and help you understand your numbers and how you can make more profit using this information. I understand some of you hate math, but my whole mission on Thursdays is to help you learn to love your numbers. And today's going to be no different. One of the questions that I get asked all the time is that someone wants to hire an employee and they're like, oh, I need help. I'm working so many hours. I know I need help, but I just can't afford someone to help me. Today, what I want to do is show you how sometimes when you're at that point, you have to hire someone. And yes, you can afford it. The way you know you can afford it is you have to work the numbers. The question becomes, how do you work the numbers to find out if you can hire someone? Well, guess what? Everything you need is in your numbers. You just have to be able to figure it out. And more importantly, here's the thing. Sometimes people think that their profits have to take a hit because they hire someone. And while that is partly true, because if you hire someone, your profits are going to take a hit because you now have this expense line that you did not have before. If you have a team and you're hiring additional people, same thing. Your expense line is going to grow under your payroll. But here's the thing. You hire a person for a reason, right? The reason you hire this person is to either give back your time because they're going to take stuff off of your plate, or so that you can expand your business. Either way, it's going to be giving you more sales. The question becomes, how much in sales do you need to add to your business to pay for the person? And your margins will change when you continue to add people because your expense line is going to continue to grow. So yes, that part is true. But as far as making the same amount of profitability and having the same dollars, you just have to expand those sales. So let's talk about that a little bit, okay? So first off, there's two types. So we're going to put it into two buckets. The first example, I'm going to use two examples today. So the first example is going to be, let's say you're going to hire your first person. And when you're going to go hire your first person, you want to make sure that you have a reason in what it is that you're trying to get out of that person, and then B, how can you pay for this person? So the first thing is, who's the first person that you should hire? Well, that's going to be different for everybody depending upon their skill sets and what it is that you do. So one of the most common first hires is somebody that you can hire that isn't necessarily going out into the field and doing the job. Now that might seem weird because you're like, oh my God, I have all this time. I've got so many jobs, I don't know what else to do. Well, here's part of the problem. You're supposed to be working on your business just as much as in your business. You got two different parts, the one who's out in the field and the one behind the scenes working on the everyday tasks to grow the business. Well, one of the areas that you can really grow and fix has to do with that first hire of, say, a bookkeeper, somebody who can do your invoicing, someone who can key in your records, somebody who can follow up on the bills and all that other good stuff. So let's just say a bookkeeper. Well, for most of you, most local business owners, most business people in general hate doing the bookkeeping aspect of their business. It's very time consuming. It's not one of their favorite things to do. And part of the reason that it's so time consuming is it's probably taking you 2 to 3 times as long to do it as somebody who has a passion for doing bookkeeping. So one of the very first people that you can look to hire is someone who can do your bookkeeping. Let's just say that it's taking you an hour to 2 every single day for you to do that bookkeeping. So you might be spending 8 to 10 to 12 hours a week doing your bookkeeping, doing your invoicing, doing your bids, your invoicing, all those different things that you need to do that you can go ahead and give to somebody else in some cases. So what would it cost for you to hire someone to do that for you? And that's what you want to try to figure out. So let's just say that you want somebody who can come aboard who can do the same 10 hours that you can pay. So let's just say you're going to hire someone for 10 hours a week, and let's just say they're not cheap. They're going to be, cheap's going to be relative to each of your areas. Let's face it, okay? So I'm just going to pick a number. Yours might be higher, yours might be lower. You need to use your numbers. But let's just say you have to pay them $20 an hour to do this job. So you're going to have 10 hours at $20 an hour. That's going to come out to $200. a week that you're going to pay somebody. Now, there's a difference, by the way, between an independent contractor and an employee. And this goes for both sides of this, because an employee is somebody who you're going to bring aboard and you're going to be paying the taxes on and all the other fees that go along with having an employee. Whereas an independent contractor, they take care of all that themselves. You just pay them a flat fee. So depending upon how you're paying them, this $20 may be just a straight up $20, or there might be some additional fees that are tied to that. So in reality, with the taxes and everything else, they might make a little bit more. We're going to talk about that in our second example versus the first one. So let's just say you bring someone aboard who does some bookkeeping for some other businesses, but they're going to come work for you for 10 hours a week. And it's going to cost you about $200 a week for them to come in and do some basic bookkeeping for you. So the question becomes, if they start taking over those 10 hours that you're currently spending on it, what do you have to produce in those 10 hours you just got back in order to at least break even and pay for this person? Well, in a few other episodes and some of the past ones, we talked about what is it that you are capable of earning an hour. Not you personally, but what is your labor hours? What are you getting when you dive in? Now, your labor hours could be a few things. If you're doing the actual job and you get paid $50 an hour to do what it is you do, that's a labor hour that you charge. But in some cases, it could be if you took those 10 hours and instead of you converting those 10 hours to you being out in the field more, but you could spend some of that generating new business and or being out in the field, you have to ask yourself, how much more an hour can you make? So most people, let's just say you can earn $50 an hour if you're actually working in the business and creating some more business, and whether it's through marketing or actually going out there taking on more jobs, whatever the case may be. And let's just say then that, so you got those 10 hours times that $50. So now you have the potential to earn $500 more in sales. So far we're spending $200 for that additional person, but now we can create $500 in sales. Well, you guys all know that $500 in sales doesn't necessarily mean that it's $500 in profits. So part of what you need to figure out is what are the profits that you're making on that $500? Well, if you know that you have a 50% gross margin, then you know that half of that 500 is gross margin. The other half is towards product costs and everything else, which means you brought in an additional $250 in profit. This is before your expenses and everything, but you brought in an additional $250 in gross profit, in which case you're going to have enough to pay for that person. So that's going to be kind of their basic rough break even. Now, if you really want to go crazy, you can figure out what percentage your expenses are and also add that in there. But for our case, what we're doing is we're just making sure that they at least cover what we're paying that person. In this case, we can see that you're definitely doing it. So you can just do some quick math and put pen to paper. Now, I want to give you another example just in case. Let's just say that you're working so hard, you've got all the other pieces in place, but you need to expand your team. You need to bring on another helper. So what you want to do is you want to bring someone on for 25 hours a week to help you out. And they can be either an extra set of hands, you're going to expand one of your teams, add another member, whatever the case would be. Let's just say you want to bring on another person. And let's just say they're going to work 25 hours a week, and you're going to also pay them $20 an hour because we like easy math. So $25 an hour at the $20 is going to be $500. But you might recall earlier I said that if you were actually going to hire someone, you're going to have some other costs like taxes and different payroll things, especially if you have to give them uniforms and all this other different stuff. But anyways, we're just going to assume that, while you're paying them $20 an hour, it really costs you about $25 an hour to have that employee when you add everything up and your true costs. So in which case, you've still got the same 25 hours times the $25 an hour. And that's going to really mean that honestly, they're costing you about $625 a week for you to have this employee. Now you just have to figure out before you hire that person, what do you have to do in sales to be able to afford to hire that person? Because I'm going to take a pause for a moment, because here's one of the things that I hear all the time is, I need help, I need help, I need help. And I'll ask people, okay, well, have you ever figured out how much they need to produce in sales to determine if you can even hire this help, or what should you get in return of hiring this help? Because if you keep doing the same sales you do today and you hire someone, that's just going to come straight off your bottom line. In which case, if you did no more in sales, and let's say someone hired this particular person, their profits are going to take a hit of $625 a week, which now we're looking at what, $1,250, so almost $2,500, $2,000, $2,500 a month just to hire this person to help out. They have to do more sales out of this person. Otherwise, you're just giving up straight profits. And maybe you're just making so much money, you're okay with that. But in most cases, you want a return on that investment. You need to figure out what that is. So let's just say that this particular business typically has done their homework. They've done their numbers. They know what their typical gross margin is. And their typical gross margin, which is the difference between what you sell something and your product costs. This is before all of your expenses. This is just your top line, your sales minus your product costs, what that difference is, and you're dividing it by your sales. So in this particular case, they make 55% off of every dollar that they sell. This is what their gross margin is. In which case, we're going to want to take this $625 that we know we need, and we're going to divide it by 0.55. We're going to divide it by the 55%. So 625 divided by the 55%, or 0.55, depending upon how you like to do your math. It's going to come out and tell you that in order for you to hire this employee, this particular business owner needs to do an additional $1,136 more in sales. So if they can produce by having this additional person and bring in an additional $1,136, they have a break-even point of this employee before any of the additional expenses of that amount of money. And it's a quick way to do math for you to be able to find out what it is you need to produce in sales. Now, if I was this business owner and I said, oh, wow, even if I hired this other person, there's no way I can create an additional 1136. At least now you're armed with what it is that you need to do. So you can say, well, I can probably make up an additional 500. Okay, great. Well, then now you know that you've got about 636 that you're going to lose off of your profitability until you can produce more money. The main thing is you got to do the math. You can hire anybody any point in your business. You just need to know what the actual cost is going to be for you to be able to have that employee. What are the additional sales that you should expect to get out of that employee if you hire them? So for some of you, you may have to listen to this one a couple of times. I've got a note to do one of the videos for the YouTube on this, and obviously it's going to be a video in the course of the Know Your Business Numbers course, but I really wanted to just kind of hop on here, give you some quick basic understanding of some quick math that you can do to determine, and by using your numbers, can you hire this person? Can you bring someone aboard? And maybe it's not 25 hours, but when you do the math, you go, you know what? Well, I don't think I'm going to get that. I can start off by bringing them aboard for 15 hours a week or 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week, and then continue to grow from there. And by the way, you don't necessarily have to have the sales within the first week or two, because it's going to take some time to ramp up this person and get them up to full speed. But you can say that within 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be, I should be able to grow my business to where they completely pay for this person. Because sometimes you're going into season, or you need to let them ramp up, or whatever the case may be. It just dawned on me when I was talking about going into business. You know what? You always need to have more people sometimes when you're going into your busy season. So you just have to ask yourself, can I create an additional 1136 in my business to be able to pay for this person? In which case the answer will probably be yes. But if you're going out of season and you're going down and you want to hire somebody, you have to ask yourself, is this the time for me to hire this person? Well, if your sales are going down, maybe not. Now, that doesn't mean that because you also want to time it right. You might be, let's just say you're a landscaper, you're someone with the heavy seasonal business, pool cleaning, whatever, and your business takes off in March. You might want to bring that person on in February, so that way you can get them up to speed, so that when it takes off, they are trained and ready to go. In which cases, you need to understand that your break-even point and the number that you need for your business in February is going to be much higher to offset this payroll that you're bringing on before they actually can generate any additional sales for you. But that's the right thing to do, so you can plan for that ahead of the game, so that way you can set aside the money needed. So if you know you want to hire for this coming season, all you have to do is figure out those numbers of what you're going to need and set it aside, so that way you have the funds to be able to prepare to be able to bring someone on earlier than before. Hopefully that's all making sense, and some of you guys have had an aha moment. I know for some of you it went right over your head, and you may have to practice at this a little bit more. It's okay. You know what? Learning to love your numbers is a process, and it takes time and it takes practice, and you're all going to get there. And don't forget to, if this is your first time listening to the episode, podcast, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss these. We try to dive in all the time and help you become stronger, better business owners, so you can be the true badass that you're meant to be, because it's not about how hard you work. It's about how much you keep at the end of the day. And my goal is to help you keep as much as possible. And if you want to watch some of the videos that we've got going on for helping you understand your numbers, just go on over to localsmallbusinesscoach.tv over on the YouTube channel. Not only does it have the podcast episodes that upload there, but I've been making some videos for everybody to go over there as well. And also working on that course, so that way you guys can take an even deeper dive into knowing your numbers. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this one up. Hopefully, if you've been looking at bringing on some people, you completely understand what I'm talking about here. Just remember, to recap, you need to figure out how much they're going to cost you a week with their payroll and any additional expenses that they might have as an employee. And then you want to take your gross margin that you already know, because you figured out that number of what your average gross margin is, and you want to take what it's going to cost you a week and divide it by that. So this way you know the sales that you need to be able to pay that person and what you need to create. So whether it's a bookkeeper or someone behind the scenes who's not going to create sales, in which case it's about how much time you're going to get back and how much you're going to be able to earn and increase your productivity to be able to create the sales to pay for that person. Or if they're going to be out in the field, you can figure out how much in sales you need to be able to grow your business in order to pay for them. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me at Tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. Tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. Run your scenario by me, email it to me. I try to answer everybody back, and we can kind of take a look at that as well. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and hopefully you got some good food for thought. And if you've been thinking about expanding your team or bringing someone on, this helps you figure out those numbers. All right, with that, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, if you're interested in taking your knowledge to the next level on understanding the numbers of your business, then head on over to knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com and sign up to be one of the first to get any new items I put together to help you take your skills to the next level. Not only will you get immediate access to any new videos I create, but you'll also get copied on any tools I create to help you get better at understanding your business numbers. Plus, get any updates on the upcoming course, Know Your Business Numbers, where I will be taking a much deeper dive into the numbers that will help you become the badass business owner I know you are. So once again, if you want to keep building the skill, building this business muscle, check out the link in the show notes and head on over to knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com and sign up now. Don't you think it's time to use your business numbers to earn more profits?